Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter Critique, where I take a look at a different Kickstarter project every single time, give my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today, I am very excited to be checking out the 494th most popular project on games. This was a Fiverr order. Let's video your role-playing adventures just like a movie. It's EACT, a new entertainment tabletop RPG into VR will make this possible. Player wearing the VR device, ... So, as always, when I go into these Fiverr ones, I try and get really in-depth. And so the first thing I'm going to say is that if you're sitting at 494th popularity, you've only raised, I believe that's yen, maybe 109 yen, that means there was not nearly enough in the front end pushing off this ship. You need to start collecting emails, getting your Facebook, getting your Twitter established, getting some sort of way that you're going to get a jump start to this project. I don't know exactly what it is. Potentially, God, I hate saying this, but maybe even check out Kick Booster. That works particularly well. Let's go. Awesome here. It is a Fiverr order. Yeah, I love hearing that as well. So then we get to the main image, and my first thing is I don't know exactly what I'm buying. I see X-Praise Studio. Is that the name of the software or the game? Let's video your role-playing adventures just like a movie. I think there's some lost in translation a little bit here, because I don't quite understand what I'm getting just based off the main descriptions, based off the image, based off the picture. It's EACT, a new entertainment. EACT. So EACT is what I'm buying, or is it X-Praise Studio? Or you X-Praise Studio? No, you're Redefine Arts Inc. It's just this main image. It's confusing. A new entertainment. Tabletop RPG into VR will make this possible. Player wearing the VR device. Definitely agree. I think there's a translation issue. So the first thing is, I don't know exactly what I'm getting in here. I will say I know that it's virtual reality, and I know that it's tabletop role-playing game, and I think you could just say TTRPG maybe? I don't know. Either way, that's a minor nitpick. But as always when you go in the video, I'm thinking three things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? And there is no video. So that's the first big misstep. If you do not have a video on your Kickstarter page, you are like 90% more likely to fail, I believe were the last numbers that I saw. Just based purely nothing else. No history about the game. No, not even talking about what category it is. It's just if you do not have a video, your chances of succeeding go down exponentially. And so it looks like we have one backer at a 1 yen pledge, it looks like. So you definitely didn't have enough launching off the ship in the first place. So we definitely need to work on getting your online presence well established, marketing this to people, because you have two specific niches that you can try and go at, which is tabletop role-playing games and virtual reality. And that's big. We see tabletop role-playing being brought more digital. Every week it seems like I'm covering something where it's tabletop role-playing games, but it meets digital. So I think there is definitely a market for what you got here. Alright, so then we have a video. So we go from... So typically people just put the video here. I think that's a really odd choice to put it down here, but whatevs. Oh, as always when you go into this, do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? So we'll get to that next. We'll go to this.
Join us.
That was a nice shot. I did like this shot. I wasn't so hot on the first shot, but when you actually showed her hand moving. Now, the thing that I noticed is she's not actually holding a wand. So how does it know to control this? So there's some sort of sensors or something like that? Or are we talking like the Kinect, or not the Kinect? Yeah, the Xbox Kinect, the PlayStation Move. Is there going to be a camera that comes with this? I have some questions. Hopefully they get answered. Banging music. I see minis. Are you selling minis? Or no, they're in the game. Game Master become movie director. Oh. Multiple camera work will let Game Master make CG animation easy. So essentially, this is a tool that allows the Game Master to set up their dungeon with video animations and backdrops, and then their actual avatars will be in the game. That sounds super ambitious and super awesome. And so the first thing is, when you're pitching an idea this super ambitious, everything else has to be polished. It has to look good. Because as always, there's three things you need to convince backers. Do I want it? And I think now at this point, if this is something someone's interested in, like a GM, and I can make this, that's pretty cool. Can you do it? Don't feel comfortable with that. Now, I do see this, which is good, but hopefully we see some actual gameplay down below. And I think some more polish would definitely help. And how much is it? We'll get into that a little bit later. They need to hire someone to do better translation. I could agree with that as well. Because I think just that main description is not clear as you would like it to be. And unfortunately, that makes it look amateur-ish. And when you look amateurish, you know, how many times have people been burned by Kickstarter? Like, at this point, you're really walking on broken glass unless you... Yeah, I mean, just period, I think. Because so many people have gotten burned on Kickstarter in the past. Oh, the first person? That's cool. I don't know how he deflects that, but okay. This is new entertainment. So how do you know how they're going to react to it? Do you actually... Wait, is this more like they are strapped into VR, they tell you what they do, and then you program it into there so they actually see it happening? That's a really fascinating idea. This is new entertainment. It's EACT. So that's what's called. It's EACT. Okay. Can change stage like changing cinema set. Among hundreds or even thousands of stages. Okay. I don't know about this cut. That last cut was kind of weird. Okay. Caesar boarding. Okay, so there's nothing else here. Sean said, but I'm loving this idea a lot. Has a great groundwork, but it needs more like being able to access character sheets, reference guides, dice, and such all within the VR world. Very niche. Yeah, I could definitely see this being a niche product because everybody has to conceivably have the VR goggles. Redefine Arts Inc. is a startup company just established in September 2020 in Kyoto, Japan. We're a software development company with a staff of 6. The software we're currently developing is called X-Praise, a game that could be called... And so now it has like even a different name. A game that could be played using VR devices such as MetaQuest 2. X-Praise is the world's first tabletop role-playing game that can be played in VR together with Game Master. And so I think this is the first time I've heard the words X-Praise. So I would, at the very least, make sure... I get, because this says X-Praise Studio, but then this says it was a different company. It was Redefine Arts Inc. So it's just a little bit confusing. Oh, no, you did. It is called X-Praise. I think you just called it something else. EACT. Oh, it's EACT. Zero back is usually a red flag for me. It can be. It also just means that I don't think that this one had the initial launch. Like, nobody knew about this. And then no one's going to find it because now it's 494th in the popularity, and the image is uninspiring, and the text to tell me to click on it is... But I want you to really think about that number. This is 494th. And this isn't the worst. This isn't at the bottom. Like, there's some below that. So you really need to stand out somehow, and I think the main image... You know, it's a big deal. Hey, Jeremy. We have developed X-Praise, which we believe is the world's first dedicated application for playing tabletop. So there's like spaces. I don't know. It looks like, it looks off to me. In VR together with Game Master. X-Praise will probably be available to buy on Steam or through the company's own website soon, although it is still in beta version. So that's really not good either. You at the very least need to tell me what system it's going to be for. And that's another thing. I put that on the marquee. If you know it's going to be on Steam, or if you know it's going to be on your company's website, like, you know, most likely one of those is at the least is going to be the case. And say that, hey, it's going to be on the website, but if we hit X number of dollars, stretch goal, we're going to get it on Steam as well. Through the development of X-Praise, we've made further new discoveries. In conclusion, there's an unexpected future beyond so I think they lost a T, tabletop role-playing games into VR. So we have given names to such a future concept as e-act. The word e-act has a two-sided meaning. It is a word with only two meanings. So here's the first thing I would recommend. And you need to go look at the top 10, not games, but the top 10, or just look at 5. No, if you're trying to make, $35,000, I'd take some time and I'd go look at the top 5 most popular tabletop games projects right now. And just get a list and write down everything you like that they did. All the little things that you could see yourself incorporating in with your game. And then, either do it yourself or hire someone to do that for you, those graphics and whatnot. Because this is just desperately needing a coat of paint. This does not look up to industry standard right here. Another meaning has to do with the realization that the player can now be seen in a third party through that body obtained in the VR space. In other words, in e-act, the tabletop role-playing game player evolves into an actor in the virtual space. I got that. I got all this. Through development, we realized the possibility of creating CG animations in a revolutionary way. With this being groundbreaking. Okay. Next video is a main video which explains about X-Praise Studio. So it should all be like your main video is the star of the show for a huge chunk of people. And I thought this was the main video. You already showed me a main video. This is a different main video. Okay. This is an 11-minute video. So now I understand why it wasn't the first one. But what is this?
Hi Kickstarters, my name is Masahiro Sakakibara.
Okay, so this is the personal touch video. This is what I want to see. This is great.
I'm a CEO of a startup software company here in Kyoto, Japan. Have you ever dreamed of making film like a...
Honestly, I already like this. I think this should be your main video. I think a personal touch, or this interspliced with some other stuff, I think a personal touch here is really the way to go. Not to mention, you're going to give me more of an idea about what I'm getting than me trying to figure it out through the video and the main description, I think.
Like a Star Wars or Harry Potter's or John Ford's Western? But isn't it very difficult for individuals to do that? Only professional movie director can do it. Also, payment for a professional actor or actress is very expensive too.
You don't need to tell me why.
How about do it through animation or CG? Well, some great people can do that. But you will never know.
I feel like we're focusing a little bit too much on why I can't make movies. I know why I can't make movies for the most part. I get it.
How many years to be finished? So I have an idea. I have an idea of a software that will make it very easy for you to make a film. You will only need help of your family or a few of your friends. Beginning was this. What I have now in my hand is a Japanese version of Dungeons and Dragons. It was released more than 30 years ago, and as a kid, I used to play this with my friends at home, just like a kid in the Netflix drama Stranger Things. I thought it would be very interesting to make this kind of TRPG into VR. That was about 2 years ago, and that was how I started to make. We already developed the beta version of the software. So here it is. We call it X-Prize. The player wears a VR and goes on an adventure.
Yeah, I think this is the main video. I think this, without a doubt, needs to be the main video. And I know I'm not the biggest fan of how long this video is, but I think this gives a personal touch. It shows me the gameplay. It gives me more of the backstory. And it makes me feel immensely more comfortable with the can you do it. Honestly, no part so far has really made me feel super comfortable with the can you do it. But already in the first 2 minutes of this video, and I think it could easily be spliced down to 1 at this point. I think you could do away with a lot of the talking about just getting more to the point. Why I love this idea and I designed this. I want to make my own movies with this, but totally should have been the main video. Yeah, this is great.
In a digital virtual space. The game master, on the other hand, controls the game from a computer screen.
Whoa! So that is what it is.
We developed a beta version of X-Prize for a VR device. The player's upper body movements are traced and
there's a hand fix too.
into the character's movement. So when you walk in the game world, you don't have to tilt the controller forward, but you can wave your arms to walk. Unfortunately, the facial expressions of the player cannot be traced in MetaQuest 2 yet.
Okay.
So the player can use the controller to select the expression of the character they are playing. We also
That's
made
cool.
it so that magic is activated by the player's voice.
¿Y cómo es?
See, this is really cool.
As far as I know, this is a feature that has never been seen in games before. With these features, the player wearing VR feels as if he or she is really a wizard traveling through a world of adventure.
And that would make sense, because I know the Xbox does just absolutely atrocious in Asia. But yeah, the Xbox Kinect, this has reminded me, it's given me heavy Xbox Kinect-esque vibes. Like, if you said this was an Xbox Kinect game, I'd be like, yeah, this looks like an Xbox Kinect game.
This X-Prize is a beta version, but we believe this is the first real VR for TRPGs. It would be very interesting if you get used to it, I think. But this is not the end of the story. I have found that if you put TRPGs into VR, you can do something close to filming a movie if you put a multiple camera into virtual space. The game master would then also record the adventure from various angles, like a movie director, and transmits and videos the adventure. Think of the Harry Potter movies, for example. Imagine if there was only one movie camera and it was fixed behind Harry Potter's head. What if it was fixed behind Harry's head for almost 2 hours from the beginning to the end of the movie? It would probably be very boring, don't you think? But this is a game we play today. Even if the computer graphics of the game is as good as a Hollywood movie, isn't this boring? In the case of shooting games, there is one camera from characters' point
And
of
so
view.
now I think we're doing more of what I wasn't the biggest fan of in the first minute. Like, you don't need to tell me. Like I feel like this is overselling almost at this point.
In FPS.
Like, I'd rather just get down to business on the price, the logistics, more of that stuff.
And in TPS, there is only one camera that is fixed behind the character, right? We wanted to change this first. Of course, due to the nature of shooting games, I understand that this is unavoidable. But what about in an RPG? Is it necessary to fix a camera in the same way? I realized that if I introduced a system with a variety of camera work, I could create a visual expression like a movie.
See, and I think all this is really good stuff to have on your Kickstarter page, but I think you need that bite size, give me the personal touch, give me the idea, give me excited about what exactly you have here, 2 to 3 minute video, and then this is down here, going more into the weeds. This feels more like a developer diary. Yeah, it's deep weeds. They need to do 2 videos, a 3 to 5 minute personal intro, overview, and cost summary, then further down a detailed video if those who want to watch it. Yeah, because I think this is for the people who are like, all right, I'm interested. Yeah, I agree with that.
So, this is X-Prize style, for example. Through multiple camera, Game Master selects the camera he thinks as best to describe the scene.
I get it. It's cool. I mean, but it's...
And as Game Master switches the camera, it will start to look like a movie. Don't you think?
Yeah.
On the other hand, players are acting as a gang or a cowgirl.
What? Oh, those are the players.
And also, Game Master can select musics as he wants, like this.
Shoot the thrill! Okay, I thought they were going to go AC/DC. Flame to kill! Deeply emotional, rolling out. Very movie-esque. I killed my grandpa.
RPG stands for role-playing game.
No! 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 I've been watching this for 6 minutes and 12 seconds! I know what RPG stands for! Like...
It means a game where you play a role. But don't we tend to forget that in today's RPGs? I've always felt that there are too many games where the objective is to level up by killing monsters and gaining experience. Of course, action is fun, and I don't mean to deny that. However, I believe that the original TRPG had the fun of playing someone else's character like a play. So, I want people to remember that. I would like to name the TRPGs recorded by multiple camera as E-Act. What is E-Act? E-Act is a new way of enjoying a game that we are going to provide. We thought that digitizing and viewing TRPG would be a new kind of entertainment, like watching a play or a movie.
So yeah, pretty much, you know, like, Critical Role. I've never actually seen it, but I get the gist. You watch people role play. You would essentially be listening to people role play, but with the backdrop of this. I think it's a really good idea.
While esports is mainly about watching shooting game or a fighting game. In other words,
What was that fighting game? What was that?
I think it can be summarized as follows. TRPG plus VR plus multiple camera is E-Act. And it can also be said as follows. Please have a look. If you look at E-Act Entertainment from the left, from the TRPG side, it is a VR version of TRPG. But if you look at it from the other side, from a cinematic point of view, it's like shooting a movie in a digital studio. Role play is act. And digital game world is digital studio. So, playing VR TRPG in digital game world and acting in VR digital.
Yeah, I feel like at this point you have just beaten the concept so deep into the ground that, I mean, I'm watching this because it's how we do Kickstarter critiques. I dig deep into the weeds, but I think you've seriously, like, I can't imagine that the recidivism, hopefully I use that word correctly here, is very high.
Studio was actually the same thing. And that is E-Act in one word. Then,
That was not
what
one word.
kind of possibility comes next? I thought like this. If there is multiple camera in digital world, Game Master can also take a role as movie director in same time.
Yeah, so
Players
they can see it.
are now an actor or actress either. So it can be used also in purpose of making a CG movie. For this purpose, I wish to make another version of X Prize. I named it X Prize Studio.
Okay, so now we're kind of seeing why I was so confused about E-Act versus X-Praise by Renegade something. And I feel like this needs to be streamlined a lot.
To make this dream come true, I want to call out to all of you who are watching this video. Please become our new team member and supporter. This product will have hundreds or even thousands of stages that will allow you to call up the perfect digital stage to meet for the scenario you have written. We also want to provide a large number of characters. We also want to be able to import 3D models you have created.
Oh,
With
wow.
this product, you'll be able to easily create your own 3D CG animations. Please imagine if the stage of your game...
So that is so incredibly niche. But for that niche, this is amazing sounding. And I don't think that was really conveyed very well enough. And I go back to what I just said a minute ago. How many people are still watching this video at this point? And you just dropped a pretty big bomb there of amazingness, but it's just buried.
Was a movie studio. You ask a friend who wears VR to be an actor. The game master turns into the film director and asks the actors to act and film the game. It would be a very fun experience, don't you think? Through our product, we dream that one day everyone can be able to make a film like a Hollywood movie. And I didn't make X Prize alone. It was made by my friend, my team. So, let me introduce my wonderful team.
Okay. Very unorthodox, not against it.
Mr. Komoshita, the CTO who writes the programs and serves as the director. Mr. Naoto, the CG designer. Mr. Ishii, the accountant and CFO.
Let's make the world first dream come true together.
Mrs. Harue, the researcher. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication.
I don't mind that at all. I kind of like that.
That
Especially with how many times I do products and I'm like, this looks like a Chinese factory, or this doesn't look legit, doesn't look... Okay,
you will join us too.
that's interesting.
Thank you very much for watching.
And this, once again, go look at some other Kickstarter videos. This is not typically what you see. That's asking a lot of attention span there for that. The Game Master also acts like, but I think if you parse that down, say 3-4 minutes, I think there's a banger there. I think there's a banger of a video there. You're offering some really different ideas. It kind of reminds me of this old PC game that I used to really, really love where you made movies. It was called Movie Maker or something like that. And you could make different actors and actresses and different themes, different settings. And it gives me vibes like that because I love the general principle of it. X-Praise Studio also gained support of manufacturing subsidy by Minister of Economy, Trade. I don't know what that means. Also, please take a look at 2 of X-Praise's video, which explain the function and how it's like starting from opening to make easy to imagine. Okay, so videos. Cool. Steam page. Game Master Steam page. Oh, so this is on Steam. So it's an early access game. You can play this right now. Oh, no. So I immediately go back to that main image, which I did not like at all. I didn't think it was very engaging, and immediately just pop Steam in here. Less of this, more of what it does. Alright, so that's the Studio for... So yeah, like this. This looks way... So this is... You're sending me to the same video that I've already seen. Okay. Not a fan of that. I mean, I'm a fan of you telling me, try the beta on Steam or whatever. Can I just do that? Plan reduced, add your wish list. This does make it look much more legit, though, which it's always important. And then this is X Prize for Game Master. Oh, so there's a separate one. That's what this is. This is the one for if you're the Game Master and you're going to be doing the camera work and the making the movies and not. And this is if you're just rocking the VR. Okay. Cool. Good stuff. All right. Function of X-Praise. You can play with VR device. Is this multiplayer for up to 4 players? This was, yeah, so that's one of the things that I would have liked to know a little bit earlier, but that's okay. Okay. So you create the game behind the scenes, then have someone interact with it in VR? No, I feel like it's more... They say what's happening. They act out their role. Like, oh, we've encountered this dragon. What do you do? And then you as the game master program what they say they're doing into there. And then you're also then you can show it to them in different angles, I guess. Okay, what do we got here?
Okay, I'm just Laura.
You can change the character. Also,
Hi.
So please wait for third play.
This looks like a fun sandbox. Like, now I'm getting the vibe, like, all right, let's drop a dragon in. And here's the scene we are. We're going to recreate what we are in our tabletop role-playing game scenario right now. Okay. See, like, this stuff makes me feel way more comfortable in the can you do it. Does it look rough? Yeah, it does. It's a beta. I kind of expected that. But it looks cool. I think if all these videos were just mushed up and reorganized and done a little bit better, I definitely think you'd have more people who are at least interested and engaged in this. Because it does. It looks really interesting. Advanced version of X-Ray's beta is even more visually beautiful, is more visually pleasing because of all the forms of the application. Use the X-Ray's beta, on the other hand, using the computer power of a standalone VR device, so it does not achieve the visuals of a console game. Has several stages, monsters, and characters for a given scenario. This is just weird. Between X-Ray's beta and you're telling me why this is going to look better. Okay. Functions. Okay. Changing hair. Got it. Characters. Originally, active characters is essential to maximize the enjoyment of electronic play. In recent games, the amount, positions, and thickness of muscles. I just kind of want to know the price, honestly, at this point. The stage, because I imagine I'm buying like a whole set. You get 5, essentially, games. Because you're getting the 4 for the VR, and then 1 for the thing. And that's kind of what I want to now. I want to know what the price is, at the very least. How much am I splunking down? Because can you do it, and how much is it? A lot of the time are very heavily entangled. In order to play a wide variety of scenarios, game masters need many different types of stages, so we're planning to develop many different types of stages. This is super redundant. Like, I feel like you have mentioned to me that you're planning on having hundreds, potentially thousands of stages at least 5 times now at this point. And it's a lot of redundancy before you're getting to crucial, valuable information, which is how much is it? Because as I always mention, and people tell me in the comments all the time, so I hammer it home, if they're on mobile or they're on iOS, and most people browse Kickstarter on mobile statistically now, they don't see the pledge levels. They don't see what's going on over here. That's an extra click they got to make. Here's an image of the assembled stage. Ooh, okay. So this is where the encounter would take place. This is nice. See, like, I'm imagining, like, 8 seconds of this spliced somewhere into the video where it's like, I'm editing the scenario and the scene and the setting. I almost wonder if you had just created, like, an actual setting and you had gotten, some of your friends and some actors and you just said, all right, if you did me like a Tarantino-esque thing where the video is, like, telling me about what the product is and what it is and how you're going to direct it like a movie, but then at the end, maybe it's the actual clip. It's all the actors. It's all the people it's the GM doing his thing behind the screen. And then we see that, potentially. Because I saw a tabletop role-playing game do something similar to that, where they actually acted out. I'm just trying to think of the videos, because there's lots of great information in all these videos, but it's just so scattershot. In-game parameters. When we thought of tabletop role-playing games as games, we realized that the freedom of the player and the convenience of systemization are in conflict. For example, the process of combat with monsters. When a player attacks a monster, the player rolls the dice and judges the results of the attack by the number of dice rolled. If we automate the attack process, the game will be faster and less stressful. However, in this case, the same process will be used for all scenarios, and it will be difficult to create your own tabletop role-playing game rules. In our development of X-Ray's Beta, we have included a process that reflects the basic rules we have devised. In the development of X-Ray's Beta, we will add a few more of these basic rules, creating the ground for a wide variety of tabletop role-playing games. I don't actually understand what all that means. All right. I think it means it's going to be versatile. So 100 yen is about 78 cents. Okay. So donation. Well, No, don't do this. If you know the conversion, then put that here. So a donation for 78 cents. Totally reasonable. And then this, how much is this? 5-year access to X-Ray Studio. Grant of rights to use X-Ray Studio for a period of 5 years. Game Master plus 1 VR player. And I can't imagine that's the most popular. But actually, I can't. There's only 1 pledge, so I can't. Normally we're able to judge based on how popular pledge levels are, how well you advertised a pledge level. But that is not the case with this one. So 5-year access to X-Ray Studio, access to X-Ray Studio Beta, and right to speak out at development community. That's weird. In addition to the right to use X-Ray Studio for 5 years, you also get access to the groundbreaking software before anyone else. And so talk to the developers. So essentially, I imagine you're getting into their Discord. for 3,000 extra yen. How much is that? That's 30. So it's like an extra 25 bucks. That seems pretty reasonable. 5-year access plus 4 VR players. So this original one was just access to the studio. Why would I just want access to the studio? Is that just like making movies or something? Yeah, I am immediately Game Master plus 1 VR player. Well, nobody role plays. Like, I guess if you're rolling I guess you can do solo role playing experiences. Okay, I shouldn't take that back. This is I guess aimed at specifically at solo players. It's just okay. Game Master plus the VR players, and you're killing me here with the conversions here. The majority of people who are going to back this are going to be from the United States of America. That's you go look at nearly any other Kickstarter. That's typically how it shakes out, especially the most popular ones. So convert those currencies. And luckily, Kickstarter does it for you. But once again, Kickstarter does it for you if you're on PC, and you can see over here. Game Master plus 4 VR players. Invite your friends to use this. Golden Knight Original Avatar. Plus, you will receive a Golden Knight avatar in shining golden armor with your original face. It's a very special avatar, only for those who participate in this crowdfunding campaign. Okay. So they're going to put you into the game. Premium Golden Knight. I just want it forever. I mean, that's my biggest bugaboo now. I just want this forever. I don't want 5 years. We're giving away a Premium Golden Knight. On top of every right of Golden Knight, we'll add a special cape and sword that will only be granted those who participate in this crowdfunding effort. So essentially, you pay us 7,000 more yen, and you get the fancy in-game thing. But it's not like it's a multiplayer game. Like, that's so weird. You're essentially just giving me an extra prop for your game. I really popped that P there. Your name will be engraved on the Arc de Triumphum. On the top of every right of Premium Golden Knight, your name will be engraved at the top of something in the studio. So, I gotta say, I hate these. Why? I just find it so odd that you don't have a lifetime one. And that's because that's pretty custom across a lot of video games. Like, I've signed up for I think 2 or 3 massively multiplayer online role-playing games where it's like, hey, you pay this huge lump sum. I could still get on, Lord of the Rings online if I wanted to because I paid some huge amount before. Now we got stretch goals. And so here's the other thing. You didn't tell me the number of locations. You said hundreds, which makes me think there's gonna be hundreds, but I think you only showed me like 6. And I go back to that main video where someone says it looks like it's popping out a seizure. But the thing is, it was just the same 6 or 7 locations, just boom, 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 boom. I thought that would have been a more moving shot if you would have showed me different locations. The yen jumps a lot. I buy a lot of stuff and the conversion jumps, but it's always rough. 100 yen to $1. The yen does. It pops off, but it's like, just hit me with both. Hit me with euros. Hit me with pounds. Hit me with dollars. I like them all. Entrance virtual city design. We designed an attractive city that serves as an entrance to the virtual space and provides a place for interaction in VR. And so all I have is this very blurred up looking, like this is not a fun stretch goal image. And I know maybe you don't know what it's going to look like yet, but it's weird fantasy in a fantasy world. And so now we've converted to dollars. What the hell is this? What? So this drives me nuts. We just all of a sudden, like, why would you? That's a very odd choice. And now it doesn't even tell us again. User-specific characters. Add the ability to upload your own characters or objects. Didn't you already say this was a game feature? It was in the 9-minute mark, I remember correctly. That's off-putting. Multilingual support. Cool. But at this point, we're talking massive. And we are way cart in front of the horse territory here. Unless this is supposed to be yen. But even then, I'm so confused by this. Like, this is great. You're showing me all the different things. But this is if you get, 10 times your funding goal? So this is way too much cart in front of the horse. And it also makes me build a setting system for enemy characters. Interesting. The development team grew up in New York State as a child. In his late 30s, he established for a school of training therapists in Chiang Thailand, which is produced over. So you're telling me about your people, and I do like the fact you have the full names. I criticize a lot of companies who do not do that because it just makes it look way more fake. And honestly, surprisingly, on the Can You Do It, you've snagged me. Do I want it? Yes. Took me a while to figure it out. Can you do it? I was very skeptical, but you showed me enough stuff that I was like, all right, I can take a flyer on this one. So what's the price? 5-year access, $36. I just wanted to make movies. $59. don't care. So these, and then here's the one that most likely would be the most popular. I would imagine the $118, and you're essentially getting 4 games for 4 VR systems, and then the Game Master thing for 5 years. And that 5-year thing, that drives me nuts. And maybe it's because you're just worried you're not going to be able to support it after that. Or I don't. That's just such an odd, befuddling choice. The Golden Knight original Avatar, which boils down to 173, 228, 282. And here's the other thing as well. I think with a product like this, and I think I see a lot of video games do it, I would have at least a couple whales, like some massively, exclusively limited, big pledge levels where someone can drop thousands of dollars on you, but their name is going something. They are going to put a permanent stamp on your game, and maybe you don't want to give that away, but I think that would really help you at least hit the funding goal if this ball could get rolling. Because right now the ball is stuck at the top of the hill. Right now the ball is going backwards down the hill. You know, you're at the top and you're going this way. And I think there's a lot of good stuff here. So FAQ update. And then here's the other thing. Well, you only have one backer, so I guess you wouldn't put the time in doing an update. So I can't really say much about the updates or the comments. But it looks like you've given up, and that's fine. I mean, that's fine. Not every Kickstarter succeeds the first time. I think you have a very intriguing idea. I think you have enough footage there that you could easily make this a thing. I actually really like how you showed me your team, and I actually saw your team on video. I'd like to see maybe what they work on. Just get the camera a little bit or something like that. You know, that'd be good. Because a lot of times when I see these, they look so stock photo-y. Like, that looked like that was ripped straight from a stock photo. And in fact, I have seen that actually happen. We'll be like, a buddy of mine, Scott, he knows the Google Foo, and I was like, this looks so suspicious, and he reverse image searched and it was his stock image. So you showed me that. I really do like. But overall, final grade for Let's Video Your Role-Playing Adventures Just Like a Movie. Once again, I am not grading the finished product. I've never used the finished product. I can't do that. I am grading the Kickstarter presentation of the product, and I gotta go with an F here. It's just, from the beginning, it just looks like you did not look at any other Kickstarters before you put this Kickstarter together. And Kickstarter's been here for over a decade. You know, there's a lot of good stuff to learn from what other people have done. You know, people have done 50, 20, 10 projects, 5 projects. D- with says Sean. Okay, maybe F might be a bit harsh, because I do want to kudos to the showing me the people behind the scenes. I actually like that. I like that a lot. And once again, I do think there's enough information, but you have to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. So yeah, I think D-. I think I will. I'll raise it up to a D-. But either way, this one, and it's such a huge point grade. I think with just some polish and just a lot of other stuff, this could definitely be something that gets funded. They have the elements. They are just not done and edited right. Well, hopefully this video helps. And if you're ever interested in having your Kickstarter critiqued, be sure to check out that Kickstarter. No, there's a Fiverr link down below. But as always, if you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below, as I try to do 1 or 2 of these every single weekday. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.